So the goal with medications, just like Sky the dog trainer, is that you should be using medication until you achieve a desired change in behavior. There's two aspects to a separation related disorder. One is if they truly do have anxiety. Let's say they've been diagnosed with anxiety, keeping in mind that veterinarians are the only ones who are legally allowed to diagnose conditions in animals. Because people will be like, I'm doing a diagnostic approach. And then they will say, oh, yeah, your dog has separation anxiety. But legally, only veterinarians can diagnose.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say that we do have the diagnosis of separation anxiety or separation related disorder. We're going to be having medications for generalized anxiety, so anxiety on all the time, because 5 out of 7 days of the week that human is leaving the house. There are also comorbidities in that dogs who are noise sensitive or noise averse or have a fear of sudden noises also have separation related disorders. And so when you have comorbidities, you're more likely to have that dog on an anti-anxiety medication like an SSRI. And you're going to use your as needed medications, usually a sedative, because dogs should be sleeping 14 to 16 hours in a 24-hour period. And they can be sleeping for the most part when you're at work. There's no reason that they need to be awake.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you can use a sedative from when you do have to go. And then there's going to be the training aspect. Usually when you're training, you don't want your dog sedate because they're not going to learn when they're sedated. So you're going to have your SSRI that you have to start, and you need at least 4 to 6 weeks in order to know whether or not that SSRI is working. And then you add on your PRN, which could be a benzodiazepine like Xanax or Ativan. Or you're adding on trazodone, which is something that's labeled for insomnia in people. Or you're adding clonidine, which helps calm the adrenaline system. Or maybe you're adding gabapentin, which is like the brake in the brain. But you don't just give the medication and leave the house. You have to try the medication to see if that medication is appropriate for that dog. Because you can actually get paradoxical excitation. So you want a dog that's sleepy while you're gone, and you can get the complete opposite where they're frantic and excited instead.
Oh boy. Vodka and Red Bull style.
Yeah. So
Evita.
so that's generally the problem, is that it hasn't been communicated to the pet parent that they need to try these medications first before you just give them medications and then leave the house.
Okay.
My problem becomes when the dog trainers, instead of working as a team with the pet parent and the veterinarian, is that they bash the veterinarian and then tell the pet parents to, stop using those medications or those board and trains. Board and trains are the ones where you give your dog to someone else and then you let them abuse your dog without you even being there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's those ones who are like, well, I'm just gonna like take this dog off their medication. It's no big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.